In this example, I'm going to demonstrate constant member functions. When you're working with a class, generally those functions that do not change the data members will be denoted with the reserved word const. And in this class, we have 4 functions. And these are getters or get functions that just return the data members. They don't change any of the data members. So these would all be considered to be constant functions. And the way we denote that is we put const right here after the heading of the function, because these are inline functions. Okay. And so by doing this, a programmer knows if they call those functions, it will not change any of the data members. Now, constructors change the data members. In this case, there's one set inventory function instead of having 4 separate setter functions, but they change the value of the data members, so they are not going to be constant. So this would be considered good programming practice. If you had a display function, that would be another example of a function that would be constant, because display functions don't change the contents of the data members. So this kind of demonstrates how you would do that in inline functions, but we know that not all functions are written inline. You have the option to write them inline, or you have the option to write them in your implementation file, in this case inventory item.cpp. So I'm going to take just this particular function here, and I'm going to write it in the implementation file instead. So I'm going to put my prototype here. I still have to have const. Now I'm going to go to my inventory item.cpp. Here's my constructors and that one big set function. Okay. So this function will look like this. And I'm just going to write it like I would generally write a regular function, even though it works like that. Okay. So you can see here that you also have to have the reserved word const in the function right after the heading itself. If you don't write them inline, it's got to be in both parts, in the declaration and in the heading, because remember, your declaration and your headings and your prototypes need to match. So that is demonstrating good programming practice by making functions that do not change the value of a data member constant. That's important information for a programmer to know. I'm just going to run my program here to show you it works. Okay. And by putting const there, you can't do something like this. Right? You get a message here. Expression must be a modifiable LVAL. Modifiable means you have to be able to change it, and you can't because it's a constant function. LVAL just means the that value that's on the left-hand side of the assignment operator. So see, by making it constant, a programmer cannot change it.